Growing up as an angsty little kid, my life revolved around two things: going outside to play football and watching cartoons. God knows how many hours I've spent in front of the TV watching cartoons. Whether it be Cartoon Network, Disney, Nickelodeon, it really didn't matter. Animated, I'm gonna watch. And my generation's cartoons were amazing. They were top tier, like so good. And that begs the question, how did we get from this to this? That's not to say that this generation has not produced some good cartoons. I mean, I really like Regular Show and Gravity Falls. But aside from a few exceptions here and there, this generation's cartoons and their taste in it, no sugarcoating it, it's gutter trash. It's straight up gutter trash. Like, there's no two ways about it. And honestly, this generation will never know what it feels like to consume true art for hours and hours and hours and hours until your mom comes in with a hanger and then forces you to do your homework, and then you're crying and then you're weeping and then you think, why are you such a miserable little fuck? But honestly, we're not here to discuss that. We're not here to discuss how the cartoon industry is a huge mess right now. That is a video for another day and another time. Today, we're here to discuss how one cartoon managed to stand out from the good ones and the bad ones. Good morning. We're here to discuss how one cartoon was a work of pure comedy while being a work of pure terror. We're here to discuss how slowly my childhood is fading away, and I am genuinely sad about that.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
We're here to discuss Courage, the Cowardly Dog. Now let's be real. Anyone that's seen the cartoon knows that this shit is amazing. You do not need me to tell you. Like, I'm still going to tell you, but you don't need me to tell you that. Now, the great thing about the cartoon is that it incorporates horror with comedy. Like, you feel genuine terror when you watch the cartoon, but because it has sprinkled in some comedy elements, not some, a lot of comedy elements in it, it somehow is presentable to kids. Like, think of it this way. It's a traumatic experience that you're enjoying. Is that a kink? The cartoon had amazing comedy in it, and I just do not mean the slapstick humor in it, which was amazing in itself.
You to open your mouth and say, ah.
But aside from the slapstick things, the cartoon had genuinely funny interactions that made you laugh out loud. Shout out to Eustace and the computer, like, oh my god, what a character, that computer.
Evil, shadowy, evil things. Search!
You twit. You mean evil shadows?
I don't know.
What a loser. Of course you do.
Okay, you don't have to get personal.
Aside from the comedy elements, we have to talk about the horror elements. The genuine terror that they instilled in 10-year-olds. And that was amazing. Like, it's probably something that has stuck with me as an adult. And the visual terror that it induced, it was amazing. Like, there's no two ways about it. It genuinely made you fear things. The first things that you think about when you think about visual horror in the cartoon are things like the barber, King Ramses and his slab, and that weird face thing that was there to kick Eustace when he couldn't grow a plant even though he was a farmer. And it's not just the visual things that it did really well. The cartoon knew how to induce anxiety into 10-year-olds, which is very weird, but it did that. And the only thing that comes to my mind whenever I think of anxiety-induced moments is cats. Damn you, cats. I hate you. I hated all episodes with you. I hated it in a good way, but I hate you, cats. But of course, one of the greatest things that the cartoon does is pulling at your emotional strings so easily and so constantly and making you, a 10-year-old, feel genuinely sad. Think of episodes like Courage is Past. What was that? Like, oh my god, that is probably top 10 most tragic backstories ever? Maybe. Think of the Space Squid couple. That episode was heart-wrenching. And perhaps one of my favorite episodes, that teacher who comes into Courage's house and is constantly trying to remind Courage that he's not perfect, but the cartoon somehow manages to tell you that you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be the best you that you can. And all of these are just amazing at doing what they do and making you, a 10-year-old, feel these emotions that are actually very important if you think about it. And it just makes me angry to think how we're somehow watching Uncle Grandpa instead of genuinely good. But of course, most of you already know that this show is amazing, and there must be a reason why it popped into my mind to make a video on Courage the Cowardly Dog of all things. And most of the internet already knows, but if you don't, that's because Muriel's voice actor, Thea White, died tragically on 30th July 2021. This decade has been a bitch. And that really was a sucker punch for me, because it slowly made me realize that I am forgetting my childhood and my childhood is slowly going away. And honestly, that makes me very sad, because my childhood was amazing, at least from a cartoon point of view, it was amazing. And to think that I am forgetting it, and probably everyone else is too, just doesn't feel right. And just made me sad, like genuinely sad. So that's the only reason why I did this. To remind myself down in the future that, hey, this cartoon exists and you really liked it as a kid, and maybe you should go and watch it, which I probably will do right now and will do in the future. And maybe I can, with this, put new eyes on the cartoon, because honestly, it deserves all the praise in the world and more, and I think everyone needs to see it. So yeah, that's why I made the goddamn video. Bye.
Out here all alone? What courage you have. Would you like to come home with me? I'll call you Courage. We'll have a grand time. Isn't it grand being together? Our cozy wee family.